Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to talk to you a little bit about my infertility journey and the changes I'm making in my life in order to boost my fertility. So let's start from the beginning. When my husband and I got married at the end of 2021, we decided that we just wanted to wait for 1 year before trying for kids. But a few months into our marriage, we decided that we were ready to start trying. We felt the desire of having a family soon, so we just started. But what I didn't realize back then is how naive I was. I had never been surrounded by people struggling with infertility, so I assumed that it would be easy for us to get pregnant, that it would be a quick and natural process for us. But after 4 or 5 months trying to get pregnant with no results, I knew something wasn't right. So we received a lot of well-intentioned advice, like don't worry about it, just relax. It'll happen when you least expect it. So that's what we did. We didn't worry about it. Back then, I was tracking my cycle, and I generally knew when my fertile window was, but we weren't very intentional about my ovulation day. And since then, I've learned that there's only a few hours during the month where you can actually conceive, and it goes from 24 to 72 hours. So if you don't try during those hours, it just won't happen, or it will be almost impossible that you will conceive. So years went by before I realized that I needed to stop listening to people that had not struggled before with infertility, and we decided to be very intentional with trying to conceive. So today I want to share with you the 5 biggest changes I'm making in my life in order to improve my fertility and support my body naturally. And in this video, I will also be sharing things that I've been learning from this book. It starts with the egg. I really recommend you get a copy of this book. Even if you're not trying to conceive, but you know in the future you will want to conceive, you should really get it. It will prepare you for that moment, and you will save so much time, and your body will be so ready for that moment that it's just really worth it. Number 1, tracking my cycle more accurately. The first thing I did was to subscribe to the Natural Cycles app. A friend of mine recommended it to me, and honestly, it's been one of the best purchases I've made. After 6 months, it's still learning my cycle, but overall, I would say it's pretty accurate. The only thing that I think is still slightly off is the period prediction, because it estimates it a couple days early. So for period predictions, I use the Apple Health app. I've been tracking my cycle in there for years, so it is incredibly accurate. And with these apps, you need to take your basal body temperature every single day. Literally the first thing that you do when you wake up. And this process has taught me so much about my body. It's incredible to see how biology works around our ovulation and conception. And back then, when I subscribed to the Natural Cycles app, since I bought the annual subscription, they offered me this thermometer for free. But apparently, they're not doing it nowadays. I think that what they will offer is a bracelet. A friend of mine is using it, and she says it is a little bit uncomfortable for her. The good thing about a bracelet is that you won't forget that you need to measure your temperature. So I guess overall, I would prefer the bracelet, but since I have the thermometer, I'm gonna keep using it. Number 2, using ovulation tests. The second thing I'm doing is using ovulation tests alongside the app. They help you to estimate the ovulation date, but I've learned that getting a positive ovulation test doesn't always mean that you actually ovulated. The confirmation really comes from the rise of your basal body temperature. That's why it's really important that you keep tracking your temperature. At first, it feels difficult and inconvenient, but after 1 week doing it, it just becomes part of your routine. Number 3, supporting my health and thyroid. The third thing I'm doing is improving my health through nutrition, supplements, and supporting my thyroid. I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and thyroid issues can really affect your fertility. And because of that, I had to be very disciplined with my habits, my supplements, and the food that I eat. And in the book, the author discusses in detail this condition. And even though initially it was really overwhelming for me to realize how my condition could really affect my ability to get pregnant, the book also offers you hope by explaining you what practical steps you can take in order to improve your chances. Thyroid disorders are very common in women with unexplained infertility, ovulation disorders, and premature ovarian failure. It has become very apparent that even a very mild reduction in thyroid activity, a condition called subclinical hypothyroidism, could be a major contributor to premature ovarian failure. In this chapter, the author shares both the challenges and the hopeful possibilities in order to improve your fertility. She explains that sometimes certain thyroid conditions can make it harder to get pregnant, and this makes you feel very discouraged. But she also reassures you that you can actually take steps in order to improve your chances, like using the right thyroid medication, choosing the right supplements, and following a diet that will help balance and support your hormonal health. And the chapter also touches on other factors that might be affecting your ability to get pregnant, such as celiac disease, low vitamin D, and health gum. It is so important that your mouth is healthy in order to get pregnant. And I didn't know that. It is crazy. But yeah, it might also be affecting your fertility. The author shares that taking care of overall your well-being can actually make a difference. Number 4, removing plastic and fragrances. The fourth change I've made is reducing the amount of plastics and artificial fragrances that I use in my daily life. And this is another topic where it starts with the egg really opened my eyes to. I hadn't fully realized how all of these things can really affect your overall health and fertility. And the author explains that even if you track your cycle and you time everything right, fertilization might still not happen if egg quality is affected by your environment. The fact that most fertilized eggs never become a successful pregnancy is an issue that receives very little attention because there is a common misconception that getting an egg fertilized is the real challenge in conceiving. Most natural fertility advice, therefore, focuses on ovulation and timing to achieve fertilization. This approach misses the mark because the potential of a fertilized egg to continue developing is often a much bigger issue. In reality, egg quality plays a critical role in how long it takes to become pregnant, whether naturally or through IVF. And the secret is in the egg's DNA. Although an embryo's potential to develop into a pregnancy depends on many factors, by far, the most important is having the correct number of copies of each chromosome. She also talks about how everyday plastics, especially the ones that we have in the kitchen, can really affect your hormone balance and your egg quality. And that's what motivated me to make some intentional changes in my home. But what I appreciated the most is that she doesn't suggest that you completely eliminate plastics from your life. She focuses on you reducing the exposure to these plastics without stressing about it or obsess about it. I'm planning to share another video where I can show you the changes I'm making in my kitchen, and maybe I can give you some ideas, some easy and practical ideas that you can try on your own kitchen too. Number 5, reducing stress. The fifth thing I'm trying to do is to reduce stress. And honestly, this has been the hardest part for me because I've been dealing with chronic stress for years now. I've become so used to being tense and being on survival mode that now relaxation doesn't come to me naturally. The problem is that I don't have a solution in the short term because we are in the middle of a renovation and I have a very stressful job. But my husband and I have designed a mid-long-term solution, mid-long-term plan in order for us to finish the renovation and hopefully maybe in a few months for me to quit my job. So I wanted to make this video because I know there are so many couples out there going through the exact same journey, and I just wanted to encourage you not to give up, but instead become very intentional with your health, your habits, and even your environment. Doctors diagnosed me with unexplained infertility, but I obviously believe that there's an explanation. They just didn't care to look into it. I believe that my body was designed to conceive, so when something isn't working properly, it is often a sign that some part of my body needs attention. And in a strange way, infertility has also been a blessing in disguise because it forced me to look into some deficiencies and issues that I was going through and that I would have never looked into it. Like my thyroid, I would have never looked into it. I would have never cared to find out why I was constantly fatigued physically, mental fatigue, brain fog, anxiety. I would have kept eating trashy food, processed food. So yeah, I would say it is indeed a blessing in disguise. I also wanted to say that I'm still learning. I'm still in this journey. So I hope I can bring you along with me so I can keep sharing updates with you and so you don't feel alone. I'm very thankful that you watched this video, and if you like it, I hope that you can click the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you so much. I hope you have a blessed week. Bye.